come in, I'm still on a rant. Okay. I thought something was going down over by my car. I said, let me get up out of here. That's one thing about being uh chosen a target individual. You gonna bring folks out. They gonna come out to see you. I guarantee I can test this hypothesis that most people think that we're making this type of stuff up when we say that we can go somewhere and people just out the blue start popping up, you know, somewhere random. Anyway, I was ranting and raving. Well, I wasn't raving, but I was just talking about my disappointment in humanity at this point in time regarding gang stalking and also regarding black men. My disappointment. I'm over it. I'm so irritated with it. It just makes no sense. And that's why I say I definitely know that we are in the end times. So with this going on, and if people do know, if people have taken this on, say as a job, because I've heard people say that they put out ads in papers, newspapers regarding surveillance jobs. How are you going to get a surveillance job and you're not any sort of you're not affiliated with the police in any way, form, or fashion? You haven't gone to any academies, but you're watching people and you're following people. I believe that in the Bible when it talks about monsters, that women will be birthing monsters, children that have no scruples, no morals. I think that this is a time that we're living in of people that they don't care if they're hurting anyone. They don't care as long as they're getting their needs met. Okay? So, trying to inform people regarding, what's going on about this program, some people really could care less, in my opinion. They could care less because we're in the end time. These are the people who will take the mark, you know, the mark of the beast. These are the people, your gang stalkers, the people who willingly choose. I'm not who are just demonically possessed. And when I say demonic, not when they have been rendered over. They're not operating with their own faculties anymore. The demon has totally taken over them. I'm not even talking about those handlers and those perps. I am talking about people that are choosing to want to take monies in exchange for stalking you, in exchange for following you. You know, I just truly feel like these are the people who are going to take the mark. Because when we talk about this economy crash, and it's on its way out. Good day, doing, Tanya. How you doing? This economy and everything in this world is going downhill Kim. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I I I I hope it's nothing where you won't, feel better. Because I know as chosen ones, as targeted individuals, we go through so much. I mean, a normal person could not handle what we go through. With some of us self isolate. Hello, hello, Live Rogers. I think that's what your name was. Some of us self isolate, right? Because you don't want to put up with the BS, and we can do that. Do you know how hard it is for people to be with themselves? Some people can't do that. Some people literally have to have people around them constantly because they can't deal with the talking voices that are in their heads, their consciousness, or those devils that are raging in their skulls. So they can't be alone. Okay? That's why they must move in packs. People don't understand how strong you. Look at this fool. Look at y'all see him. Y'all see him. That's called brightening, guys. If you all don't know what that's called brightening. When they get right behind you, with their bright lights on. As you can see, it's still daylight outside. You see that car that's far behind me? No lights. But you seen the car that just passed me? Right up on my bumper. That's called brightening when they ride you that closely. But anyway, Tanya, I hope you feel better because I know just going through the day to day, waking up, having to go to work, having to put up with people that think this they think you don't know what the hell they. But if you have to work at a job or you get job mob, so you have to be wise as a snake but harmless as a dove. You understand? They think they have inside jokes doing directed conversation towards you as if you don't know. And all you do is, okay, do what you need to do and keep it moving. Do what you need to do and keep it moving. Ha ha, he, and a couple of nonsensical jokes, and half the time they're trying to aim the jokes like you're the one that is the joke. When and in fact, in actuality, they are the ones that are the joke. And I know that it's hard for people when you realize, can this actually be my family? It has been affected by this. How much did they pay them off? How much money did they offer your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins? What lot? This is the thing for me. The betrayal that hit me so very, very hard is this is a person who took care of you or was in your life from infancy, right? An infant. If you weren't adopted and never knew who your real parents are, but that still shouldn't matter if you were adopted into somebody's family or if you were raised by an auntie. That because black folks we do that all the time now. We'll have two, three cousins and be calling them brothers and sisters because we done raised them in the family. So, but when you have that close of proximity with someone, I mean, y'all done seen the tears, the snot, the joy, the pain coming through life. Y'all, look, okay, thank you. Oh, they keep cutting in my live, y'all. People driving. That lady was sweet. She was nice. What was I saying? People who have been in your life from whatever stance they join your life, even if you were the oldest sibling. You know what I'm saying? Even the baby, the youngest sibling knows you, knows if you're a mean person when you wake up in the morning, or is afternoons or midday better for you to talk to you. You know little nuances about people, about your family. How do they get into these people's heads that have been around? That right there, you be like, me, and I'm gonna speak on me, guys. I know entities have entered in. Okay, and I know that being, I don't want to say that I am a Christian. I say that I follow the teachings of the Bible. Okay, so I know when it said in the end times that this betrayal would happen, and if you can't connect that, I mean, it is happening. It's like, to understand, and if you've had family members betray you and you can't fathom, you can't wrap your head around why or how, it's like a time clock. When you got to get up in the morning, and if you're going to work, or maybe you have your own business, or maybe you like, man, forget it. I'm gonna just do whatever and do me. But you still, you get up. Your body has a time clock. You know what I'm saying? Um, so you wake up in the morning. To me, it's almost as if you could have had an experience growing up where, when you look back at life, everyone's family, you have arguments or disagreements, or all of that. That just happens because of being in a family, different personalities. But it seems as if the Most High set the time clock in these people, in your families. If betrayal is one of the issues, that the Most High set the time clock in them, because when you look back over your life, you can't really see. I mean, like darkness in these people, or evil, or you can remember good times. I mean, you can remember struggles, you can remember things, but I'm talking, and not if you've been abused. I'm not talking about, because you've seen evil in people if you've been sexually abused, or I'm not. I'm just talking in general as Now I want y'all, because I'm about to park right here and talk to y'all guys for a minute. Y'all see this parking lot? This parking lot is empty. There's no cars over in this parking lot, but I'm gonna pull over here and talk to you all for a second. So when they start rolling up, my point will have been made. Um, okay. It's as if the Most High set a time clock in these people, um, because He knew that this was the family that you were going to be in, that they were going to rear you, not to have like trauma, but just a basic upbringing. Like, I don't even want to say a normal family, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Because the Most High had to hide you in a way. Do you understand? Keep you in a way, but not where you would be harmed. I mean, now tragedies have happened to us. Not saying that it was because of the family members, but throughout your your life coming up in life. But the Most High, he put you with this particular family to keep you, to hide you in, like they say, plain sight. And he knew that, like it says in Matthew, that your mother and father and sister and brother will betray you to the point to where they will point you out to be executed. That's how deep this betrayal will get. See, we're at a stage, if you're awake now and if your family has betrayed you, you're at a stage where the betrayal is just the photographs. The betrayal is uh, gaslighting. It can be detrimental because that's uh, a mental hell, to try to make somebody think that they're going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get you to understand. It's not to the point where the hunt is on. You see, the hunt is on for you chosen ones, you target individuals, the ones that have their own mind, their own thought process. The hunt is on because they must, you know, contain this population and minimize the population. But within minimizing this population, they must have the people that they want to keep in the population. They have to be the sheeples that will be utterly controlled, you see, utterly conforming to whatever the New World Order puts into place. These people will move at the sway and the flow of the leaders of the New World Order. And see, you and I, we don't just flow by the words and the tones and the rhetoric and the BS that comes out of people's mouths. We are the ones that think, well, no, that don't sound right. No, and then express an opinion. That's who you are, and they can't have that. And so the hunt is going to be on because they're going to raise up that level, that notch, to where family members are going to be pointing family members out to be executed with those guillotines, you see. Oh, yes, and the United States have guillotines. Obama signed that into law. You see, when those laws are being passed in Congress and they play this stupid game with you all, and it's very stupid, but they play a game with you all. When they're passing laws and they're talking about, the government is going to shut down. And, we can't have the government shut down for too long because that's how your military gets paid. That's how your Congress, your presidents, people get paid with government jobs. So, well, not the congressmen and them, they be having their money flowing. So they go on vacation half the time when they say the government's going to shut down. But, your military benefits that are sent out, like Social Security and things of that nature, that makes people on edge, especially if you're living on a minimum resource of money, makes them nervous, okay? And they pass these laws quick. And the law book is like this. And you mean to tell me the law that they want to pass, the documentation is this thick, and they pass it overnight before that Congress shuts down? They haven't had the opportunity to read every little minute details that are in that law that they're passing, like the one when Obama passed, and it slid right into there. Those, I think it's 100 plus, 100,000 plus guillotines. Where are they sitting at? They're here in the United States because there's a passage in Revelation that also talks about the beheading of saints. Revelation is the end of the Bible. Okay, Revelations is the revealing of the end times. What is to come in the end times, and it talks about beheadings. Do we do beheadings now here in America? No, we do not. So if you're putting this Bible prophecy to reality, then you know that beheadings are going to become a law, something that's going to happen again. And so this gang stalking that we are going through, the betrayal that you're going through right now, if you're around, or if the chosen are the TIs that are, because they're waking up every day. The further we go, the more days that pass, you're going to see that betrayal comes that talks, that Matthew, the book of Matthew, I believe, talks about when family members will betray you and, betray you unto death. I don't know, guys. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I just truly wish that we had the full answer, you know? And I can only speak for myself when I know for a fact that this is spiritual and carnal, dealing in the matter of the flesh. I know that it's both. I know that it is truly both. And when I was at the park earlier, I just guess I was feeling so just, ugh. Mm. Over black people. Black men, I think I was talking about. Mm. Being so just spiteful and hateful towards black women or their own culture of women, people, and wondering just when and where did that come from? And it, to me, it truly has to be an agenda or spirit moving. Because I had made the point about coming up through the 70s, the 80s, when black households were stronger. You heard the tagline, Black Love, but you didn't have this hatred betrayed or being displayed for the black woman. and the black family. Now, mind you, I know that there are some black women that spew out of their mouth hatred towards black men and hatred towards themselves because that's a self-hate. And I don't care what nationality, what nation you're from, to have pride in your nation and your culture is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because if you like to experience different cultures, their foods and their, traditions and just experience what has made them the people that they are is beautiful. But us, I know a lot of the awakening for black people are being, they know that they are not just black people because, like they say, my shirt is black, my skin is brown, right? But we call ourselves black, a derogatory name, a name that is a name, a color. We're not African American. We know all that. So we know that a lot of us have come into the awakening that we are Israel. Okay? We A lot of us. Even if you don't agree that you're Israel, you've heard about this great awakening. But with this great awakening of us knowing that we are not the color of my shirt, we are not the color of my hair, we are not black, we are brown. And knowing that we're not two continents put together and made a name. The divide is real. It's saddening. It's disheartening. And I wonder to myself, why is this divide so real like this? Is it because that we're coming into knowing who we are, that we were pretty much made to forget who we are? And before my dad passed away, and I found out or was awakened and found out the knowledge of who I am and that I'm not a color. I tried to talk to my dad because me and him were more like he was more on an intellectual kind of frequency, if you will. So conversations I would have with him would be just on a deeper, level. And when I brought up the fact, different things that I was coming into the awakening, and him being so in tune with knowledge, basically, and me bringing up, the apocrypha and books that came out, were taken out of the Bible, and different things like that, and knowing that we are Israel. And what shook me to my core is he said to me, I don't care about that. I don't care about where I came from. That puzzled me because even children that are adopted, even if they're, let me just say, even if they're white children that may have been adopted and never knew their biological mother or father and grew up and became of age, and their adoptive parents told them that they were adopted, a majority of those children want to know, well, who's my father? Who's my mother? Where do they live? Things of that nature. So that is the same thing as black people coming to this awakening, knowing that they are Israel, knowing that they are not the color of my shirt, being called black, being called African American. So it blew my mind when he said that he didn't even care. And I think that is the culture of a lot of men and women, not just men, but men and women of certain ages that have just succumbed to their captors. You see, that it's almost a Stockholm syndrome. And that's what I feel about a lot of black men that have this disdain and this hate towards black women. They feel that because they are in America, it could be America or abroad, certain places that have the illusion of greater freedoms, okay? Because they are in these different countries, that they are actually free and that they are actually looked upon as an equal. And not realizing that they're not. But having the disdain for their own people, their own women that birthed them, you know, it puzzles me because these men that spew out this rhetoric, and this live started with me talking about okay oh, this live started with me talking about I have just a problem with the black men and all of this negativity towards black women. When these men, they truly feel like they're in America or a country that has the illusion of freedom in their mind, not knowing that they can get shot at 90 times, 60 bullets hitting them, like that young man a few weeks ago. 60 bullets hitting them. And the family that's going to be mourning them, the family that's going to be burying them, is that black family. You see. And they have this illusion that they're free, not knowing the chains are on their minds and not knowing that I believe in a few years, maybe this year or next year, all of that marching up and down the streets that Martin Luther King did, well, you know, that expires. Black people's voting rights will expire. Research it, look it up for yourself. But these black men think they are in the inclusion, and they are isolating. And to me, this is my thoughts, setting themselves apart from their people because they think that they can operate on the same level for which this country, and I'm speaking on the United States, was founded of. When they don't know that their voting rights will soon here expire. So with these people saying, you want change and go to the polls, well, here pretty soon you won't be able to go to any polls and vote. In some states, you are, and I believe it's in the Declaration. No, Constitution, you are still considered 3/3 of a human being, not even a human, an animal. But with the lack of education and seeking knowledge, you have black men listening to men, and I'm going to say that they were hurt or they are part of pushing an agenda. You have black naive men sitting here thinking that they are on the same playing field, equals. So that's why I'm wondering, could this truly be pure ignorance on their part? Are people who have come into some kind of contractual agreement, and I'm talking about black men, who have come into some kind of contractual agreement to destroy the black family? You see, the black family has always been destroyed, and the focus to keep our community, our families weak has always encompassed the black man. The 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 game plan for control of the black community has always and will always be the focus of the black man, you see. Because the leader, the head of a household is the man. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all do not hear me. The leader, the head of the household is the man. So in white households, the man is the head of the household. Chinese, go on through the nations, Mexicans, to destroy that nation of people, you need to destroy the man. You need to cut off the head. And you see, that was done on those ships when they first came over. That manipulation first started with the woman seeing her son, her husband being torn apart by horses and burnt and tarred and feathered, to where she made her sons mentally weak, but physically they were strong. The daughters, mentally strong and, independent woman, started back in slavery. Okay? That's where it started. I'm an independent woman. That started back in slavery. If you understand what I'm saying. Nevertheless, the manipulation is still on. But it's switched, you see. Now, these are just my thoughts on the matter. How do we go from black power, black love in the 70s, 80s, the Cosby Show, positive reinforcement of black families, a different world? My goodness. So many shows that, they allowed on TV that were positive to all of this The black woman is the problem. The black woman, and the black man is the one who's saying this. Do you see? You have now a talking head. The talking head that is, this is sinister, that's spewing out all of this hate, is a black talking head, talking to men about their own race of women, you see, because they feel that they're free in a system that still has them in the Constitution as three-fourths of a human, not even human, that they feel that they're free in a system that their voting rights will end in 2 to 3 years. Nobody has been marching to re-sign any voting rights, have they? You probably didn't even know. No, because the agenda is the talking heads are out here. See, the woman was the destroyer in slavery. The woman helped to chop off the head of the black family. But now, from my observation, it is the black man who is chopping off his own head because he feels that he is equal. And he does not feel that seeding his own nation is a priority because he can go seed other nations. Well, you see, that still will not matter in a country that does not consider you to be on the same playing field. And all I'm saying with this discussion right now is our black men can't see the forest from the trees. They are hopping on the bandwagon left and right only to chop off their own heads. And the only time you'll see them come running back to the black community is when they're deceased. You see, their family members, their brothers, the people who knew them and knew how they spew out all this different rhetoric regarding black women will ask for help from the black community, help in burying their black brother. Because they chopped off their own heads. I think I've been sitting here a little too long. Didn't I tell you this parking lot was empty when I pulled up? Anyway, before I get off of here, I think I feel better. Sometimes I just have to let it out. I have to let it out because some people Now, y'all, I swear for goodness, y'all got to see this. Hold on before I get off of here. Okay, y'all see this parking lot when I pulled up. I showed y'all this parking lot. Y'all see back there. Y'all see back there. Y'all see it. I showed y'all it was empty. Why this man parked right behind me, got off his motorcycle. I got to dig in his trunk of his motorcycle. Child. And that is what we talk about. And you'll see, the sun has set. That's what we talk about as far as TIs. You can never be alone. Somebody's going to always pop up on the scene. Okay? Somebody. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to read the doggone comments before I go. We got to leave them in their coffins with born into death unless, hold on, unless we commit the still in death. The physical is the matrix. Yes, the physical is the matrix. The 7 deadly sins, we just gotta let them hide and deal with the buffering. Oh, that must have been when I was buffering, guys. Let me see. I read some of these already. Some of your cousins are perps. My cousin and my aunt all turned on me. Yeah, keep your head up. You're not alone in this fight. Thank you. Live Rogers. That's why you left clean. I'm still here. I was reading your I don't think wherever you leave from or move to or whatever, um, it'll follow. I mean the program is gonna follow you. That's why I just know it to be spiritual as well. This is a hot. I mean, you cannot be alone at all. It's just it just don't make no sense. Ain't nothing in an empty parking lot. Y'all know before I pulled in this parking lot, I let you guys see. Ain't nothing in this doggone parking lot. But this dude, are you watching me on my live? Say yes. Right here. What is that about? Are you the only one watching me on the live stream? Anyway. All right, guys. I think I have been it enough. I got my company over here. Yeah. And I will holler at you guys later. Yep. Yep, what? Are you the one over there watching me on the live stream? I was waiting for your response. No response? All right, guys. Anyway, I'm out of here and much, much love.